Right now, there's talk that the new OnePlus Pad 3 might be the best Android tablet on the market, even better than the Galaxy Tabs. So I had to check it out for myself. Hi everyone, Tao here. So look, it's a little pricier than their previous model. It comes in at $699. That's still $300 less than the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra and a whopping $600 cheaper than the 13-inch iPad Pro. If you're in Canada, like me, the price gap is even more jaw-dropping. You're looking at a sizable 13.2-inch 3.1K display with up to a 144Hz refresh rate. But here's the thing, OnePlus is sticking with an LCD panel while most premium tablets these days typically have OLED. It's a pretty solid screen that's super sharp, color accurate, and gets just about as bright as the Galaxy Tabs. But personally, I do prefer OLED on my tablets, especially for watching content, which is one of my main uses for a tablet. I also have to give the edge to the Samsung for outdoor visibility. The anti-reflective coating that they're using makes a huge difference under the sun. This one here, it's pretty reflective. Now, what I do love on the OnePlus is the 7:5 aspect ratio. Sure, you get more black bars at the top and bottom when watching content, but for me, the trade-off is worth it because the extra vertical space makes multitasking, browsing, gaming, or even just holding in portrait mode feel a lot less cramped. What's neat is that they somehow managed to fit in an 8-speaker setup, 4 tweeters, and 4 woofers. It does sound really good, but I wish it got slightly louder and had a bit more bass. So if media consumption is your main thing, I still say the OLED Galaxy Tabs are the better binge watching machines. But the OnePlus wins for productivity thanks to the aspect ratio. Accessories can make a big difference, especially if you're thinking about using this like a laptop. OnePlus has a new keyboard cover and it still works with their older stylus, which charges magnetically on top. I kind of wish they updated the pen though. It's fine for marking up documents or quick notes, but it doesn't always keep up with my writing and sometimes misses parts of letters. Compared to the S Pen or Apple Pencil, you definitely feel the latency. It's not bad, but yeah, it could be better. The 2-piece keyboard case is low-key one of my favorite things about this tablet. The keyboard connects via Pogo pins, but also works via Bluetooth. That means you don't need to keep it physically attached to the tablet for it to work. Kind of like what Microsoft does with the Surface lineup. It's super handy if you want to prop the tablet up and type from a distance or use it on your lap. Typing feels pretty good overall, and I always appreciate having shortcut keys along the top row. It even has NFC tap for sharing files or screen projection with OnePlus phones. It ain't perfect though. There's some small quirks with it. The magnet on the kickstand could be a little stronger, and the palm rejection needs a bit of tuning. I've had the cursor jump around on me a few times while typing, but hey, at least you can disable the trackpad when you don't need it. The pen goes for $99 and the keyboard cover comes in at $199. If you're treating the Pad 3 like a laptop replacement, the keyboard is probably worth the splurge. It definitely levels up the experience. If you're serious about note-taking or digital art though, the pen might be a little disappointing. The Pad 3 has a pretty big battery. I've been getting around 10 to 12 hours of screen on time between charges, which is very, very good. Easily a full workday with juice to spare. The standby battery, when you're not using it, is impressive too. I've charged it to 100% before bed, unplugged it, and woke up to it being either 99 or 100%. That's not something I can say about my Galaxy Tabs. Props to OnePlus because it also comes with an 80-watt charging brick and cable in the box that charges the tablet from 0 to 100% in about 90 minutes. I will say the cable is a little short though. This is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite paired with 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. No SD card slot by the way, which is unfortunate. There is a higher spec model, but that's not available in North America. Still, this is probably one of the most powerful Android tablets on the market, and I've had zero complaints when it comes to performance. It runs Oxygen OS 15, which clearly takes a lot of visual cues from iPadOS. It's clean, super fluid, with a fair bit of customization. One feature I really like is something they call Open Canvas. It's their multitasking system that solves the issue of limited space when using more than one app at once. You can run up to 3 apps at the same time, 2 side by side, and 1 just off the screen that you can slide in and out as you need it. I love that they give you the option to lay all 3 apps side by side, or go with a stacked layout where 2 apps sit on top of a larger one. It's kind of like having a bigger desk where you can like spread things out without feeling squished. They definitely have something special here with Open Canvas. It might just be the best multitasking solution I've used on a tablet. I really like it. There's also this sidebar where you can launch apps in pop-up windows. You can move the windows around and resize them, but not to the extent that you can on a Galaxy Tab. These stay locked in a phone-shaped window, and you can only have one pop-up window active at a time. Oh, and if you're wondering, because I know you'll ask, there's no desktop mode like Samsung DeX. Android on tablets has come a long way. It's a much better experience these days, but you'll still run into apps that aren't fully optimized for bigger screens. Samsung has its own system for scaling apps better, but OnePlus doesn't seem to have anything like that. So on occasion, you'll be stuck in the wrong orientation or with wonky aspect ratios. There are some third-party apps that can help, but obviously that's not ideal. Now, the biggest hardware quirk with this tablet is that there's no fingerprint scanner. You only have a single biometric option, and that's a less secure 2D face unlock, which basically uses the front-facing camera to recognize you. It's flawless during the day, but very unreliable in low light. I know they've never done fingerprint scanners on their tablets, but not having a truly secure biometric option 3 generations in is a bit of a head-scratcher. Of course, OnePlus sprinkled some AI features in, but honestly, nothing feels groundbreaking. There's a dedicated AI button on the keyboard cover that fires up Gemini, plus Circle to Search, which you've probably seen on other Android devices. You've got a built-in app for translations, the ability to summarize web pages, an AI writing tool to help draft emails or notes, and AI Speak basically reads text on web pages out loud to you.
Researchers from around the world gathered data from 116.
All these live in the sidebar, and if you're using an app that's compatible with one of these AI features, the sidebar will glow blue, giving you a heads up, which I thought was pretty cool. OnePlus is promising 3 years of OS and 6 years of security updates for their tablets. That's not nearly as good as the 7 plus 7 that Samsung is giving you. For a $700 tablet in 2025, 3 years of OS updates feels a little behind. I'd like to see them bump it up to at least 5. So, is the OnePlus Pad 3 the best Android tablet out there? I really like it, but I wouldn't go that far. There's still a few things that need work. No fingerprint scanner, the stylus performance is just okay, and the update policy could definitely be better. But when it comes to value, this thing punches way above its price. For productivity, multitasking, and just everyday use, it's been great. At $699, it goes head-to-head with Samsung's Fan Edition tablets, and I'd pick this over one of those any day, unless note-taking or digital art is your main focus. Against Samsung's flagship though, yeah, I personally feel like it's still a step behind. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, I'm out of here.